Good afternoon, America. This is Dr. Cherry again from the Arizona. And because of the terrible, terrible news that transpired with the school shooting in Nashville, I have decided to make another video. Now, this is in so many ways going to upset a lot of people. Please, please, please do not judge me and try to think out of the box. If you do not agree with me, you have the right to do so. And that is simply because you're not exactly ready, or maybe you do not vibrate at my cosmic speed. And anything that I can produce will never work for you. But to those of you who are spiritually advanced, or what I call the superhuman, here I am again with another educational video that will make you think definitely out of the box. So, as always, once you're done listening to me, since I cannot explain everything, and it's better when you read because you can take your time to digest and desiccate all my information, okay? Go back to all those newsletters that I wrote because I'm constantly adding and improving my cosmic work so that I can help you to build more cosmic consciousness. So, as always, let's go back into the newsletter. The title is pretty clear. Audrey Hale's Nashville Covenant School Shooting Suspect. Astrological facts you must need to know. And the reason why she did what she did, all fully explained in this newsletter. All right. Now, as always, you must take the time to read all my newsletters as mentioned earlier. So if you click here and you can read all the news involving what's going on right now, which is a very negative SOS to the world, deadly Scorpius window, where the reptilians are having fun. And of course, it appears that Audrey Elizabeth Hale fell for the reptilians. All right, so if you did not read it, click on it, read it, upgrade your awareness, and then let's go back. You could see that even in that picture, it looks like if she's not exactly happy. I mean, a picture speaks thousands of words, and you could see somebody through the gaze, through the eyes that is lost, somebody that is wondering what's going on. And yes, sad enough, she is, including her victims also of a religious system that suffocated, degenerates all those kids' mental process. And that's why, as a subconscious drive, all of those kids are going right to the core. They're going to the source. They're going to college, university to kill because something critical is missing in the curriculum vitae. Something is incredibly important is missing. And what is that? It's my student and I. It's divine astrology, it's God, cosmic design, it's Jesus' initial cosmic ministry, which is astrology. Again, you've been taking for a ride for thousands of years. And it is part of my mission to bring back this awareness to you. All right, now, they're all gone, all in the name of ignorance. And none of those people had to die. But I can tell you one thing, school shooting and suicide, the plague of suicide that we are now suffering will never end, and it will get worse if you do not help me. Pay attention. Mass shooting were bad a few years ago, but as you know, about 2 years from now, from today, 2 years ago, the Scorpius dragon came in charge of this world. And I kept repeating myself because repetition is a must in my work. Okay, this is the most tenacious, the most revengeful, the deadliest dragon you can get into the sign of Scorpio, the sign that regulates anything to do with guts, blood, secret, sex, drama, and death in all its glory. That's why when this dragon came in about 2 years ago, a year and a half ago, I said, this dragon is right on top of Russia. And you know what happened next. I was right. Putin invaded Russia. Putin invaded Ukraine because Russia is a Scorpio country. Again, you, only if you have heard me and read me, will understand where I'm coming from. Other people will not. As I said many times, I get down to my head. If you're not ready for me or my work, it ain't gonna work. Just got a TikTok. All right, so you can see the progress, the extreme explosion, okay, of all those mass shooting and all this suicide, all this. And you were warned you won in 2017. How did you warn us, Dr. Thury? Well, click on it. Of course, if you didn't get my 2000 Nostradamus Dragon forecast, 2021, 22, 23, of course, you're going to be in the dark. But if you put your hand on it, maybe I'll make more sense to you. Do you remember this a few weeks ago? I don't know how many of you will recall that. But again, at the subconscious level, I knew that something bad was going to happen. Help, help. You see the word help from a young lady? And that could be Audrey. You see, look, teen girls, that's what I wrote. Audrey, are struggling with mental illness at record level, data reveal, okay? Mental illness and accident induced by the Reptilius effect is not a joke, and it's not biased. And the current deadly, dangerous, resentful, revengeful, supremely emotional, deadly Scorpius dragon does curse all children, teens, and adults from all walks of life, not only young girls like Audrey. You are not safe anywhere in this infected world. Gone completely mad, my friend. And you could easily become the next victim. This is why. Take me seriously and share my work so that you can help me to save life and build some good karma for you. We're going to do a chart later on and explain in detail what's going on with the psyche, a UCI, or unique celestial identity. But she was born in the constellation of Aries. That means the baby of the zodiac. Okay, her job is to find herself. And she was on the cusp of the karmic sign of Pisces, which is a terminal. Nothing is more difficult than the Pisces house in your chart. And you could be any sign of the zodiac. You do have a Pisces sign because you're not just a Leo, Virgo, a Scorpio, or an Aries. You are every single sign of the zodiac. You have to remember this is Nostradamus, 16th century divine astrology. It has nothing to do with modern astrology. You've studied, you enjoy, you teach, or you learn. I don't know where you're at, but it's very, very unique and deadly accurate. You'll find out if you ever become a student of mine. She was very confused and much too smart to accept the dogmatic Christian archaic teaching without questioning the teachers. Her moon, which regulates her emotional response to life, is in the sign of Capricorn, okay, the goat. Now pay attention to what I just said. Now, a question about religion, a sexuality, the reason for a constant depression and life in general were not answered as required by a rational planning Capricorn moon. The moon regulates the emotional response to life. Capricorn is ruled by Saturn. Moon in Capricorn is in fall, the worst of the worst position as far as emotions and depressions are concerned. So this moon depicts an engineer of planning, emotional response to life, the symbol of Satan, the devil in Christian theology. Her emotional response to life was to understand and rebuild our own witchcraft residue. Okay, sad enough, she could not do that because she did not have the cosmic conscious soul doctor, the teacher. And that's why all this shooting takes place at school, because something critical is missing to the kids. Now, inborn disdain for religion and pious righteousness did not make sense in a world much too harsh for a soft, unworldly, artistic, supremely emotional Pisces regulating a very low self-esteem. You'll see in the chart later below that she's a Pisces in the second house, and the second house regulates the self-esteem and the financial aspect. Okay, especially knowing that the house of religion is in the sign of Scorpio. which is a sign that only regenerates through a metaphysical investigation. So in other words, the emotional response to life was to rebuild the witchcraft residue, which in French means supreme wisdom and not hell. You're not going to go to hell. You're already on hell in your fear and your ignorance. So that is the head of the devil in Christian theology, the witch, the metaphysician, the doctor, the supremacy, the mathematician, the planner, the engineer, the world of Capricorn. Of course, she has a fishtail, but nobody taught her how to use a fishtail. She's completely oblivious of the direct relationship she has with our closest satellite, regulating her emotional response to life as the moon changes sign through the belt of the zodiac every 2 or 3 days. It's so easy to assimilate if you get the basics, the grounding that I taught all my students last few weeks. Now, the Vatican is a reptilian infected corporation, you like it or not. And these guys are leading all political-oriented church, which means every single banks, because a church is a bank to the Vatican, okay, to lie to us for centuries about astrology. Again, you will find church in the most wealthier part of town, or in Sedona, in that case, it's overloaded with so many different religious denominations. Okay, that is insane, but that's how it is. That's the reptilians who have created all these religion, all this messing up, all this generation, since religions have killed more people than all the war, all the disease, and all the natural disaster combined together. You know my philosophy. Okay, now, without a cosmic conscious soul doctor or any of my graduated students explaining a natal UCI, which means a unique celestial identity, a divinity, how God made her, and her inborn gay tendency, she could not regenerate her spirit in a religious environment. Okay, she just could not. Now, she was bullied, guarantee that, by indoctrinated children, okay, who could not understand that you don't become gay. You're born gay. It's all about the stars, and they know nothing about it, okay? So she suffered a lot of guilt and serious confusion about her identity and her inner sexual attraction. The Christian school became a jail, a nightmare of trouble where she had to go every day. She was forced to go there. She felt trapped, misunderstood, mentally abused, and she degenerated really, really fast. And at the end, of course, she became another victim of the reptilians who finally hijacked her body, her mind, her soul, leading her to kill and be killed to exit a world that was much too hard for her. She is a victim. All the people that are in jail now, all those kids are victims. Of course, they are killers, but before that, they used to be innocent, loving, beautiful kids before they got infected by a religious system, by science, who wants you to believe in one day you're going to go to Mars, okay? And by religion. Look, this is what the father of medicine said, okay? This is definitely the reason why she did all that. And a lot of a lack of cosmic wisdom that couldn't help her to swim upstream. She was a fish. There's only 2 fish, the good and the bad fish. The good fish has to go from the middle of the ocean, look back into that estuary, find the river, and swim back to God's feet, like a salmon. And as a child of the universe, okay, since you are a child of the universe, you're swimming back to the stars. That's where you came from. The stars, astrology, God, Jesus' cosmic ministry, everything that was stolen for you in the name of greed, manipulation, deception, and religion. Now, this is the ultimate prize. Traditionally educated medical doctor, parents, teachers, friends, the U.S. Department of Education and society at large must pay for replacing God's cosmic design, which is divine astrology, with science and over 807 different religions. And here you go. You see that? That's the popes. All popes were taught astrology by the Vatican Council. They were taught by SOS to the World Deadly Scorpius window how to manipulate They didn't want to give you that wisdom, which is buried under the 85 miles of secret library under the Vatican. And each one of these popes was enthroned under the sign of Leo, the king of the zodiac. Educate yourself. Get off the box. Click here. See what happened to you, to your children. Do not become a promoter of deception, of darkness, and feed the reptilious agenda. Again, I could teach all that to so many people in my UFO conference, but you know what George Noory and Tom Dineheiser have done to me? They kicked my butt for being real, for being me, for being precise with my predictions. Click in it. You learn about all sorts of things that you should know and must know and teach your kids. And they're not going to go to hell. They're already on hell in fear, ignorance, and stupidity. Now, she was a Pisces, okay? And what's very interesting, she shared the same dragon's head and tail as Brian Koberger. Yes, he was a Pisces, okay? Yes, he shares the same dragon. And then you can also, if you click here and watch the video or read the newsletter, realize that I actually gave the exact information that he was a Scorpio on the first day I heard that he killed his girlfriend. Another thing that's very important that you must pay attention. If you did not purchase my book, 2023 Nostradamus Personal and Universal Dragon Forecast for all sign, I mentioned that Aries and Soul born in Libra, okay, April and October, or those, and that could be you, born with a moon, a rising, a natal or hidden dragon in Aries or Libra, you are prime target of the new Aryan dragon coming up soon, okay? Is your life worth $20? Is your life worth supreme wisdom, priceless wisdom? Yes, it is. Take it from me. Let's look at the stars now. Audrey, let's look at the stars. You see Saturn, that's the great malefic. Saturn is called in Greek mythology the great malefic. It's a very depressing planet. It's into the sign of Pisces. And currently, we have Saturn also in Pisces, and we also have Neptune, the ruler of Pisces, also accentuating a first house. Mercury is in Pisces. I mean, you're talking about the mantle process into Pisces. It's easy to swim downstream, to follow the current. It's so hard to go night and day against the current. The river goes that way, and you're trying to go that way. And there is falls. You still have to go up, back to your birthplace, again, as a child of the universe in the stars where God resides. It's so hard. It's so hard when Saturn is in Pisces, and currently Saturn is conjuncting Saturn and Neptune is in Pisces also. It was impossible for her to swim upstream, period. It was completely impossible because she could not apply the will, which is the part of God in her, because nobody was there to teach her, to help her to regenerate. The second house of money, she has the sun in Aries, so she's supposed to spend money to find herself, become a leader of the mind. That's the baby of the zodiac, very fragile, okay? Now look at that, 1, 2, 3. The third house is the house of communication, thinking, critical thinking. The tail of the dragon when she was born is in this sign, okay? Taurus, tail. She is forced by the stars to think negatively. This chart is extraordinarily difficult for a child, for an adult, for anybody. And nobody is being taught to understand what the dragon's tail, the worst energy you can get, is doing into your psyche. Then you're in trouble. And that is an open door to the reptilians who finally got her. Anyone born with the tail of the dragon in Taurus will be very stubborn, period. They're not changing. Okay, no change in direction. Okay, going downhill, swimming downstream into the chaos and the quicksand of Neptune, where she could not escape. Drugs, alcohol, deception, antidepressant was also a stimulant for her to get abducted, so to speak, by the nefarious reptilians. Look at home, 1, 2, 3, 4, on the fourth house at home. she has the black moon. Nobody taught her the curse. Nobody taught her what happened to her when she was growing up. The reason to why she had to suffer because of her mom and her dad. She picked her parents because her parents were supposed to help her to end up her life, so to speak, to pay off a karma somewhere, somehow. Or maybe is she another example, another Western soul to help those who are still alive to think out of the box and support me and help me. She had a big heart, you see, Cancer in the 5th house. And every one of her endeavors are set by the moon. Sad enough, when she did what she did a couple of days ago, the moon was there. The moon is there, very close, beginning, ending of important phases of life. That's what the forecast that I said on Frank Morano's, the beginning or ending of important phases of life. A lot of people have lost their lives. A lot of people's lives has changed forever. The moon in Cancer means the beginning or ending of important phases of life. Nobody was there to teach her that. In the 6 hours of work and service to the world, okay, Mars, the planet of danger, aggressivity, gun, fire, explosion, war, Germany, Hitler, Mars, the Lord of War in Greek mythology, is in Leo. Leo is what? Children. Okay. She had a drive to learn, to get enlightened. She had a drive to do something for children. Sad enough, the worst of the negative aspect of Mars, which is gone, was used to kill children, to kill life. And she could have given so much life. I can relate to her. I'm a Pisces myself. She faces the world as a Virgo, fussy, picky, critical, detail-oriented. Okay, the house of death is in the world of Libra. She could not learn about astropsychology, astroforensics. She could not learn about the laws of the divine. All she had is the laws of man. And God never came down and wrote no books. God never wrote the Bible. He made the stars. Jesus is using the reflection of the 12 apostles, the 12 sins, the 12 jury, the 12 hours of the day, the 12 months of the year, the 12 sins, the 12 jury again, the 12 signs of the zodiac and your 12 houses. Jesus was teaching astrology. Now look, that is wherever you have Scorpio or Pluto, which is the ruler of Scorpio, that's where death will enter your life. That's where death and drama. She had the head of the dragon in the 9th house. Okay. Anything and everything to do with the 9th house is higher education. And it means that foreigners, and I'm one of those, okay, would be your best teachers. Instead, she let the stinger, the past, jealousy, resentment, suspicion, the Scorpius, the reptilians sting her. She could not regenerate because she was not allowed to tap into metaphysics and witchcraft as requested by her moon in Capricorn. Look in her career. She's got Pluto, the planet of death and drama, right in her career into the world of Sagittarius, the codification of thought, college, university. You see, you connect. Okay, Jupiter means, of course, international popularity in the nefarious energy that she did. Look at the wishes. The 11th house is the house of wishes and friends. Okay, that is the reason that if you lose a friend or a family member, you're screwing yourself because you're messing up your wishes, because these people will bring your wishes. That's why it's important to be nice and to be forgiving. Moon in Capricorn, for God's sake, that's a very, very negative position. The moon belongs to Cancer. That's dignified, which means the best, and that is in full the worst. The worst of the worst, okay? So she was suffering tremendous depression, okay? She had a drive to rebuild the witchcraft residue as imposed by the symbol of the head of the goat, Satan, and in Christian theology, the devil. They call me the devil, like if I'm the devil, bunch of idiots. Okay, sorry for being honest and real. What I'm trying to tell you, close to the moon, she has Neptune. You see, Neptune means depression also. Neptune means drugs, alcohol, imagination that is completely in control. And then Uranus, the planet of sudden release of energy right on her wishes. Okay, so Uranus rules the earthquakes, tornado, explosion, bomb, a gun exploding. Okay, so part of her wishes, sudden release of energy, all in her wishes. Okay, very deceptive because she was swimming downstream. The reason why she was gay, okay, Venus is in the 12th house. Venus is the goddess of love and beauty, okay? She has Venus in Aquarius, which means Aquarius is original, is friendly, is universal. That means she loves everything, up and down, black and white, male, female. She's just a universal position for Venus. Venus is not in Scorpio or in Capricorn or in Taurus, which means very, very different thing in terms of being attracted. On top of that, Venus is in the subconscious, which means in love with love, or deceived with love, or secret loves affair, or hidden, trying to hide a natural attraction to the same sex. Okay, so the Venus in Aquarius is very, very, very original, very special, and universal in so many ways. Sad enough, okay, the last window, Scorpius, Taurus, the Scorpius window took her literally because of the reptilians. There is so much you have to learn about her, particularly universal laws that were not allowed to reach that girl. Again, I repeat myself, taking away the essence of God's creation, your relationship with the stars, your divinity as you've been created by God as a spark of the universe. Taking that away is what they generate those kids, okay? In less than, in a few years, they have to learn 2,000 years of human evolution. They have to learn anything, geology, science, the arts, languages, arithmetic. They have to learn everything. English, they have to learn everything, okay? But the very critical thing that could keep them alive is learning all about themselves. Who are we? Who am I, Dr. Thury? Who am I, teacher? Who am I, mom? Who am I, dad? Oh, they give you the Bible. No, that's not good for people like her who have a very, very unique, extraordinary, powerful, and smart chart. So they can't relate to this world, and they'd rather kill everybody and themselves to exist because of the pain of not being understood and being lost. It's critical to bring that cosmic wisdom to our college university. This is from one of my students, Doug, one of my best students, okay? And I was so proud and so happy. Only a few weeks after taking my course, okay, after a few weeks with me, so to speak, he's able to perceive the divine. He's able to see God in action. He's able to see why and this happened. He understands it in his own way, in his own right, but it's correct all along. It is absolutely phenomenal. I'm so proud of him and all of my students being able to do that, okay? A few weeks ago, it was in darkness. It was in total darkness. But now he is enlightened, and he is now ready to go out there and do what I do. Before my number is up and I end up 6 feet under the ground, he's going to support and promote my legacy to the world. Now, as you all know, okay, we've finished that course. Okay, and we're about to start a new course on the Astro Tarot. So if you're on the psychic and the spiritual side, or if you want to learn astrology, email Taranya. She'll give you all the information. Okay, now, this is the end. Okay, this is the end, literally. So read all that we are offering, but be aware, April 19th, 2023, it'll be the end. There'll be no more of this educational newsletter. That's why I'm giving you my best and my best and my best. Unless I see some help coming from you, okay? Click on the link, read it. Unless I see some help coming from you, there'll be no more sharing my cosmic wisdom to the public, only to my VIPs and my Patreon supporters. So my good friends, here you are. Okay, I did what I had to do to explain to you the critical values of something so deep, so divine, so mystical, and so real that is missing. Our children are lost. They need to know who they are. The only thing they have is their computers, and then the computer is going to lead them to Neil deGrasse or to a priest somewhere trying to look for the answers of what it means to be human into traditional religion or hard fact science. Forget it. No, no, it's all about the divine. It's all about your cosmic divinity. It's all about the spirit. Those kids are degenerating. They are dry. Their spirit is screaming. We need help. You, the parents, the teachers out there, society at large, you need us so bad, to the point where if you keep resisting logic, the spirit, and the order, the higher order of God imposed upon my own mission to reach you and your children, you're going to see finally the promises of a dance of evil you wish you could never, ever experience with your children. Help us. That's why all these guys have spent weeks with me to learn all about God's cosmic design. We're here to regenerate those kids. We are the missing part of the puzzle that will stop all this nightmare. You could stop, you can get rid of all the guns. They're gonna work. They will still find a way to kill themselves because they don't know who the hell they are, where they're coming from, where they're going. It's sad when we have all the answers, the critical answers that can keep those kids' head out of the water. Please help us. Help us. Thank you very much. God bless all of you. Bye-bye.